Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this mini heart design, which was designed by me, and I absolutely love this design. I think it turned out so good, and I'm so happy I was able to make a mini heart by Valentine's Day. I've been wanting to make this design for a while. So yeah, this is the design. So we have 4 different hearts here, but these 2 are actually like the first 2 versions of the heart that I decided I didn't like that much. This guy's okay, but I felt like he was too, like, I don't know, square on the top. So this is the final version of the heart design, which I think looks pretty cute. Yeah, I just decided to put these in the starting opening bit because I thought they were still cute. They don't look perfect. Another thing that I think is kind of cute about these hearts is they kind of look like the way I draw hearts, so that it's just a weird little thing. Because I know, like, I think it's Looming with Cheryl has a heart, but her heart's very round and chubby, and these are more long hearts, but I think they're cute. So yeah, my mind's all over the place today. This is the 3rd time filming the intro. But yeah, so the band count for this design is 75 bands, which isn't bad at all. And yeah, they're also about the same size as my star. I brought one of my stars over so I could show you. So this is my star design, and this is my heart design, and they look so cute together. But yeah, so this design isn't too hard. It's actually really easy. The only thing is, if you have problems with looming tight, because it's so small, it is a little tight, so do what you will with that information. I'm not telling you not to make it, but I'm just saying be aware it is a little tight, because I know some people have problems looming when it's tight, so yeah. But I think that's all I wanted to say about this design, so I guess I'll get started. So we're going to move these guys out of the way. Oh, that was the other thing. So the only other thing that's different from this design than with a lot of other design is you actually need 2 C-clips to do it, so just make sure you have 2 C-clips. Also, I know in my star I don't stuff him, but I do use a little bit of stuffing in this design. It just looks better with a tiny bit of stuffing. You don't have to stuff it though, because I stuffed the pink one, but I didn't stuff the red one, and the red one looks fine, but I don't know. I kind of like it a little better with stuffing, but yes. Okay, so now we're ready. I also have the pattern in the description in case anyone just wants to follow the pattern. But yeah. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap our band 3 times around our hooks. This is 1, 2, and then we're going to wrap it one more, 3. And then we're going to put 8 stitches in this cat band. If you don't know what I mean by that, I'll show you in a sec. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to pull band through everything on your hook, both ends back on your hook, and then push the back one over the front one. And then we're going to go back into the cat band, so you're going to want to make sure you go through the whole cat band. You pull a band through just the cat band. You put both ends back on your hook, and then you push the back one over the front one, and then you put that other loop from last time over as well. And you do that exact same thing we just did 6 more times. So you have 8 loops in this first cat band. So we'll go back in. Once again, you pull band first through just the cat band. Then you put both ends back on your hook. Then you push the back one over the front one, and then you push that loop from last time over as well. And we just do this until we have 8 bands. And I'll show you how to count to make sure if you have 8, if you're worried that you miscounted. I'll show you how to count. But yes. Gosh, I'm kind of a problem. It's kind of hard for me to loom on camera because it's kind of tight. And that's barely 6. Just launched a band. Oops. Gosh. I don't know. I do need one more. I wasn't sure if I already had 8. Okay. So once you're sure you have 8 loops, you're just going to count to make sure. So you start by counting the one on your hook. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this horizontal band might look like it's the 8th band, but it's not. So just make sure you're not counting this one. But yeah, once you're sure you have 8, what we're going to do is instead of going back into the cat band, you're going to go into this first loop. And then you just do the same thing. You pull a band through just the loop. Put both ends back on, push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. And then we just put a C-clip on this one. like that. And now we're just going to do one row around the cat band thing we just made. I don't know what to call this, but we're just going to do one row around this. So we just put one stitch in every loop until we get back to the C-clip. I don't know what to say right now. I kind of want to fill the silence, but I'm trying to think of something to say. And I've got nothing. But yeah, just going around. Okay, and then once you get to the C-clip, all you're going to do is you're going to make a stitch in the band that has a C-clip on it. And then you'll move the C-clip off this band and up onto this band. And after that row around, we should still have 8. So if you count, you should still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside for a second. So you can just take your hook out, and as long as you don't pull on it, that C-clip should hold it, and we're just going to set it aside. And we're going to do the exact last 3 steps we just did again. Well, I write it down as 3 steps, but it's more like 2, but you'll see. So we're just going to do the exact same thing we just did again to make a second one of these, and then basically how we make the heart is we connect them, so yeah. And this design comes together really quickly once you have them connected. But yeah, so we're just going to do the same thing again. So we're going to wrap a band 3 times around our hook. So 1, 2, 3. Then we'll pull a band through the cat band, put both ends back on, push the back one over the front one, and then once again we'll be making 8 stitches in this cat band. I'm not going to go super slow because I already explained it once, so if you want the slower explanation like before, just go back in the video. But yeah, so we're just going to be putting 8 stitches in the cat band again. I was trying to think of like other designs I could do for Valentine's Day, but I don't really know what else is associated with Valentine's Day besides hearts. I also don't know if Valentine's Day is like that big of a holiday if you're single, I guess. Oh, that sounds bad, but I don't know. I just, like, I get it's like a hype when you're a kid because like you give, like I used to give all my family like Valentine's and stuff, but now, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day anymore. But I did paint my nails for Valentine's Day. Oop, they're kind of nasty. Do we have 8 yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, I need one more. So yeah, if you want to count how many you have, you can just count the loops to check, like I just did. But yeah. Okay, now I should have 8. So if I count, I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And now we'll go into the, instead of going back into the cat band, we go into the first loop. Do we put a C-clip on it? I need a C-clip. Oops. And then once again, we'll just do one row around this. So let me pick up some bands. Okay. And we just do one row around this. But yeah, I just realized I kind of sounded like I was being mean to Valentine's Day. I don't know. Like, I get the point of the holiday, but I've also seen, like, some of my friends who were like, single on Valentine's Day be all sad, and it's like, I don't think that's the point of Valentine's Day either. I don't know. I mean, there's also the other half of Valentine's Day, like I said, like, you could just be, like, you know, show people, like, you love, I guess you care about them. That could be, like, another point, but I don't know. I guess now that I'm older, I just see more of, like, the couple-y side of things. But yeah. Okay, and then once you get to the C-clip, you'll just move it up. Okay, and now's the row where it gets a little interesting because we have to connect these 2 bits. It's not hard to do, it's just I have to explain well, and that's always interesting for me. I'm just picking up a couple more bands. Just to make sure I have enough to go around. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the C-clips out of one of these, preferably the one on your hook. Just take it out. You don't need it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the one that does have, like, the loop that's hanging, and we're just going to push this loop over that loop. And because it has a C-clip on it, you kind of really have to push it. Like that. So they're kind of just held together by those. So all I did was I just pushed the back one over the front one, and now they're kind of like this. But now what we're going to do is we are going to kind of like tie these two bits together. So this is the next stitch, I can tell, and I'm going to grab the inner part of it, and then I'm going to go over here and grab the inner part of this loop, and then I'm just going to make a stitch on this. So we'll pull it through, put the back one over the front one, and then put the loop from last time over as well, like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go this way, and we're just going to go around for a bit. So we'll just go into the next loop, and we'll just make, I feel like it's blurry. There we go. And we're just going to make stitches for a couple loops. That's 1, 2, I'm going to try to count so it's more helpful for you guys. This is 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then basically where you're going to want to stop is the last loop, so I can do one more. But the last loop on this side, so I can kind of tell that this is the last loop on this side. And once again, we'll connect them to this side. So you're going to grab the inner half of this band, and then you'll get the inner half of the next band over here. And then once again, we'll tie these two together by making a stitch on them, like that. And then we'll just go around the rest of this. So now we're just going to go around. This. Okay, and we kind of have to move the C-clip because I'm trying to make a stitch. Okay, this is wait, I can't tell if that's the one that's tied in, so I'm just gonna go check. Yeah, okay, so that's the part that's tied in. So you're not gonna want to stitch on the bands that are part of the tied bit, but this, we don't want the C-clip to be in the middle, so we're just gonna take that out as well. And then I finished off this row, and I can tell I finished it because the next one is kind of tied in. So we're going to want to go into the loop that's tying that one in, make a stitch, and then put the C-clip on this one. Like that. Now they are tied together. And that is the hardest part of this whole design because you have to tie them together. But yeah, so now it should look something like this. And after that last row, I believe we should have like 11 loops. So let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you should have 11 loops after we did that weird thing. But basically what we did is we did 2 stitches on, like 2, like tying together stitches on each side of that, the first like kind of connecty bit we just did. And then we put the C-clip not on the stitches we connected with, if that makes sense. If you're lost, go back and rewatch it. I don't know if I can explain that better. But like I said, that was the hardest row. So if you did that, you should be fine for the rest of this. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do 1 row normal just around this. And then we start closing it up already. So we're just going to do 1 row normal all the way around this. Yeah, that row is the one I was nervous about explaining, but hopefully I did okay. You know what I was saying, like, at the start about how, like, this heart kind of looks like the hearts I draw? Because I have noticed that some people draw, like, really I don't know, chubby looking hearts, but mine always look long for whatever reason. I don't know, I just think it's kind of cute that they look like how I draw hearts. But I've always kind of wished my hearts automatically came out chubby. I don't know. Even when I was younger, I always would try to make my hearts like chubby and not long, but they always ended up looking like long hearts. That's okay. The random things I've talked about in this tutorial, oh my god. We're just doing one row around normal, and that's why I'm kind of not really explaining, because all we do is put one stitch in every loop. So I don't think I need to explain too much. Yeah. And then once you get back to the C-clip, you'll just make a stitch in the band that has the C-clip on it. And we'll move it up. And after this row, you should still have 11, so if you want to count, you can count, but I'm not gonna because I know I have 11, but count to make sure you have 11. So this next row, we're going to be decreasing every third loop. And I will show you what I mean by that. So we're going to decrease on the third, so this is 1, and this is 2, so we're still doing a single stitch or a normal stitch. And then on this third loop, we're going to do a decrease. So what a decrease is you grab the front part of the first loop, like this, and then you grab the back part of the next loop, and then you're just going to make a stitch on this. Like that. So I'll show you one more time, but first we have to do 2 single or normal stitches, so 1, 2. And then once again on this third one, we'll do a decrease. So we're going to grab the front part of this first loop, then the back part of the next loop, and make a stitch. And then once again, go 1, and then 2, and then we'll do a decrease again. So, and this, we're going to be decrease kind of on the band that has a C-clip on it, so just decrease like you would and ignore the C-clip. And then once you finish the decrease, just move the C-clip up onto this band. So after that last row, we should be back down to 8 loops. So if you can, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So at this point, you're going to want to stuff it if you want to stuff it. You don't have to stuff this design. I just kind of like how it looks with just a tiny bit of stuffing. I don't put a lot in it at all, just like a tiny bit. And then, I don't know why my camera looks so unfocused today. Ugh. Okay. We just stuff it. And I don't really stuff it up into the hearts, like the end bits of the hearts. You can, though. I just kind of put it in the middle. I just think it helps him hold his shape a little better. And then now we'll just put our hook back in because I took it out for some odd reason. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so for the next row, we're going to be decreasing every other stitch, and I'll show you how we do that. So because we just did a decrease, I do the next stitch just normal, so we just do a single stitch next because the last one was a decrease. I also just heard my little brother jokingly scream, so sorry if you heard that. But yeah, so we'll just do one normal or single stitch, and then the next one will be a decrease. It's kind of hard to show you what I'm decreasing right now because it's getting kind of tight. But we just do one normal stitch and then a decrease, and we just keep doing this until we get back to the C-clip. That was a normal stitch, so next one's a decrease. Okay, and then the decrease is going to fall on the C-clip, but for this row I didn't do it on the C-clip, so you're just going to make a stitch, and at this point we could just take the C-clip out, so I'm just going to take it out. But after that last row you should have 6 loops, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're just going to decrease everything until it's closed. So every single stitch we are going to do is going to be a decrease. And with this design, because we want him to look pointy at the end, you're really not going to want to do the final decrease until you only have 3 loops left. So I'll show you what that looks like. almost there. Okay. So now I'm at the point where there's only 3 loops left, and I can tell I only have 3 loops left because if I count, it's 1, 2, and then that's 3. And this is where you'll do your final decrease, where you pick it up as if you were going to decrease, and then you just pull a band through everything in your hook. You put both ends back on, and then you just pull it tight. And then we just tuck the tail in. Like that. So my point kind of came out perfect this time, but with the other two, when I pulled it in, it went in a little more. So if that happens to you, all you're going to want to do, and your bottom ends up looking very flat, all you're going to want to do is you'll just go into the decrease like this, and you just pull up, and then it'll make it a little more pointier. It also kind of helps if you just pinch the end a little bit. But yeah, that's it. We're done. This hard design comes together really quickly, so let me just show you how to put the face on. So, the face. Okay, so now we're just going to attach the eyes. So to do the face, I glue on the mouth, so I can't show you how to do that, but I can show you how to do the eyes and cheeks. So I just pick where I want the eyes to go. I'm going to go right here. Actually, I'm going to go... I'm never sure where to put the face. Go right here. Just tie it in. I usually don't tuck the tails in lately until I'm happy with where the face is. But yeah, put the eyes wherever you want. I have weird eye spots as of recently. I had to stop and start re-recording because my thing was about to time out. Oh, it went blurry. Okay. So now that I'm happy with where my eyes are, I'll just tuck the tails in. It's kind of hard to tuck the tails in this guy just because he's so tiny. Yeah. Sorry if I'm going off camera. It's because I'm trying to make sure I tuck the tails in okay. Okay. I don't know if I should pull the bottom bit in a little. To me, for whatever reason, it looks like it's really sticking out. I don't know. Maybe it's okay. So yeah, with the end point, you kind of just have to mess with it a bit and it'll get pointy. You either pull it up on it or kind of just like tuck little pieces of the end in. He's not really that pointy, but for whatever reason, this guy ended up really with a pointy end. So once you tie the eyes in, to do the cheeks, all I do is I go into a spot like right under the eye. I'll pull a band through. I'll put both ends back on, and I'll push the back one over the front one, but I won't pull it that tight. I'll just pull it loosely. And then tuck the tail in. The hair, I'm stuck in that band. Yes, like that. And then we'll just do this to the other side. Like that. And he's done. So you can glue on the mouth if you want. If not, you could just leave him like this. I feel like he looks cute. You could always cut a band and then pull it in and it would look like a mouth. I don't have any black bands near me right now, but I have this random pink band, so I can use this to show you. But that's another way to do a mouth. If you just cut a band and then pull it in, you can kind of get it to look like a mouth. So, this band was already cut on my desk. I don't know what I was doing with it. Maybe it broke, I don't know. But if you just pull it in, you can kind of get it to look like a mouth usually. Oh my god. See, this is kind of hard to pull stuff into because he's so small and has stuffing. Okay, that looks incredibly derpy, but you get, I think it's because I put this one too high. And now his cheek has popped out. This is not good. But I was trying to show you how you can put a mouth on him. Let me just repair the cheek. Okay, now we're good. So you would tuck this bit in, but because I'm going to pull the mouth out, I'm just going to leave it there. As you can see, I have these little bits sticking out, but you would tuck those in. But as you can see, it looks like a mouth. So that's another way to do a mouth. If you don't have a glue gun, you can just pull a band in and it'll look like a mouth, like a cut band in. But I'm going to glue a mouth on later, so yes. But I hope your heart turned out okay, and if you make any of my hearts, definitely share them with me on Instagram. I love seeing all the stuff you make of mine. I always feel so honored you follow my tutorials. But yeah, subscribe if you want to see more tutorials of me. I have so much more stuff coming. But I think that is it for this tutorial. So yeah. Bye.